Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS with Bob Pace. Now, I know it's a very challenging thing is to talk about CPS or fight CPS or be solved in CPS. This is a live podcast, and I have about 23 countries, including the United States, that participate or listen to it. And I'm glad you found me on Facebook, Fight CPS with Bob Pace. I'm on twice a day. My other show is Fight CPS, Stop Taking Our Children. And these two live streams I do every day since October of 2023. And it's 19 months, 14 live streams a week. And I'm on at 10 o'clock in the morning, typically Monday through Friday. But this morning, I'm on at 8 because I have to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. So from time to time, I do change my times, but never my days. And on the weekend, I'm on at 8 a.m. And again, those are my morning times. Now, my evening times are 7 days a week at 7 p.m. 7 days a week. They're an hour-long live stream, and it's all on Pacific Standard Time. I'm on the west coast of California. Place called Surf City, USA, 3 blocks from the ocean. And I'm here to help you all. I'm here to talk about your CPS case, give you advice, and so forth. I'm not an attorney, but I'm somebody that has a CPS case myself. I've been fighting them for 15 years. The Child Protection System is what I call CPS, the Child Protection System. It's a government entity that was founded in 1962, and every county in every state in the United States. CPS has been a problem for at least over 1,700 of you because that's how many people I've talked to. Over 1,700 people I've talked to. They all have something very much in common. They're basically low income that can't afford a professional attorney. Now, just because you're low income, you should not be penalized. Some of you may have had circumstances beyond your control. Like in my case, I lost my job through no fault of my own. But it came at a very terrible time in my life because I was 60 years old, still with young children to take care of. Now, it is a horrible, horrible experience to deal with what I call the rogue CPS, the child protection systems around. Now, when I say I've talked to countries, the countries are also having problems too. They're also having problems too. And these countries are from interesting places. I mean, from Indonesia to Bangladesh to India, up to the Middle East to Libya, and Libya and Saudi Arabia, then over to Africa, to Liberia, to Sudan, to the Republic of Congo, to Rwanda, down to Mozambique, and then down to South Africa. Then up to Europe, to England, Scotland, Wales, and Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond to North America, to Canada, and then down in all 50 states, including the District of Columbia. Then south of border to Mexico, down to South America, north of Brazil, called Grenada. Then across the South Pacific to New Zealand, in the land down under Australia. And when I talk to people in there, they tell me about their story, which is some of it pretty hard to swallow. There is a reason why we have CPS. It's to protect our children from neglect and abuse, and to do family reunification wherever possible. But apparently, these rogue child protection systems are more interested in money than really being helping out the parents. Because you see, when you're low income, your resources are cut off. That's the problem. A lot of people have issues. I mean, when your house is burned to the ground or torn away in a tornado or hurricane, when you lose your home, CPS will come in and attack you. They say, well, you can't, take care of your children. Instead of CPS offering food and shelter and clothing and education and transportation and medical and even a job, that's what they're supposed to be doing. They're a part of social services. And they're supposed to help out. If more help was given to families, there'd be less troubles with children being abused or neglect. We should do every effort to give them help, like early on, not when they're in desperate needs. And we should approach them with the love and understanding that they're a family and they need to correct their behaviors if they have things that are bad. But studies have proven the best parents are the biological parents. Children fare a lot better being raised up than they do in foster care. Foster care encounters a lot of mental health issues, children introduced to crime. They are abused in foster care. Not all foster parents are loving or caring. There are cases in San Diego, California, LA, California, all over the country, in Australia, where abuse is by the social worker themselves. There are over 200 lawsuits in San Diego County because of children while they're in custody are abused in many horrible, horrible ways. Knowing that Kentucky, that they are abused. The police are corrupt and that CPS workers are too. They use the police to help instill things that are wrong. They do that. Now, good morning, Candy Cade. Glad to meet you. I think you're new. I don't remember you. I do have a couple things that would be helpful when you are interacting with this live stream. Now, if you're going to text me a message, it should be in a comment or a question. It should pertain to CPS. Please state your first name, your city or county, your state, and of course, you're outside the United States, your country. Also, please tell me about your CPS case from beginning to where you're at. Another way to react with this live stream is to be a guest. I can take up 9 of you on this live stream. All you have to do is write an email to my show producer, Grace at vincentwdavis.com. Grace at vincentwdavis.com. And you just pick one of my 14 live streams. And you tell her that you want to be on the Saturday morning live stream or the Friday night or the Wednesday morning or Tuesday night. One of my 7 days of the week, twice a day, you just pick it. You just pick it. And she'll send you a link and you copy and paste the link and you'll be on what's called StreamYard, is the application I use on a YouTube channel. The room that I'm in right now, the channel is called Fight CPS with Bob Pace. And that's how you found me on Facebook, Fight CPS with Bob Pace. And in the evening, it's a little different. It's fighting CPS and stop taking our children. Now, she will tell you what to do and not to do on the live stream. Things like you don't use names of the judges or the children or the social workers. You don't. There's no profanity on the show. There's no eating or smoking on the show. Things like that. She'll help you out. Now, another way is to call in right now. There's my phone number, 626-698-0990. You're welcome in there. Now, Candy Kate further says, I've called into your show before. My name is Alexandra. Yes, I remember the name Alexandra. Yes, you have. Washington County, Pennsylvania. Well, I'm glad to see you again. And what is the latest about do you have something you'd like to share or tell me your story? I love it when people participate in my live stream. So my phone number is up. That's direct line to my phone, 626-698-0990. Now, the other number you see on the screen is the number of the office. That if you want to contact for legal help, there's where you can find my attorney, Vincent Davis. He's up in the upper, or if you're looking at my screen, the upper right side, there's a picture of him and his name. Below him is a very important web link. It's stand.store/attorney VWD. You go to that website. Don't forget to put in the HTTPS://www. Then stand.store/attorney VWD. They'll take you to all kinds of books and publications and benefits that Vincent Davis has. So that's a good website to look up there. Now we have several people in the room and already got an emoji, and oh boy, I know how you feel there, Dorothy Cook. She has her perplex emoji. And great, got a call. Good morning and welcome to my live stream. This is Bob Pace. How can I help you?
Hi, this is Alexandra. I talked to you just recently. I just commented on your show.
Yes, I see it there. Welcome again from Pennsylvania.
Thank you. I had a question about something going on right now with my case. So it seems like we're at a standstill, and I'm not really sure what to do at this point because I was in to do a drug test it's been almost 3 weeks now, and it seems like they're withholding the results from me. And my lawyer tried contacting them to see what was going on because she was going to file a motion to have the case dropped since I'm not doing anything. The allegations against me were false. So she said that once the test came back negative, she was going to file a motion or a petition, I think she said, to just have the case dropped, and now the caseworker isn't answering her emails. So I don't really know if there's anything else I can do at this point, or if I just have to wait till the hearing, because I have a hearing coming up too on the 11th if she can't get the case dropped.
Well, what she's trying to do, the social worker is trying to drag it on. You see, they're collecting money from you. They're more interested in money than helping your case. Has your lawyer contacted their lawyer and put a request for information that is part of the case. That's supposed to be information supposed to be shared. And she actually contacted the plaintiff's attorney.
I know that they speaking prior to this because they did communicate about the plan for me to take the test and then for her to file to have the case dropped. So the other lawyer is aware of what her strategy is. I just don't know if she's talked to her recently about the results or anything,
right?
Because I guess the caseworker isn't answering anybody.
Well, there's also she has supervisors and a director that are accountability, and you may have to go up the ladder to go to those kinds of people.
Yeah.
Now, have you? Is your attorney a court-appointed or public defender?
Yes.
Okay, there's biggest problem because that attorney's going to drag their feet. She's going to drag her feet because she doesn't want to rock the boat because she is hired. There's a conflict of interest when you use a public defender, and she's probably not going to fight your case because she's undated and she has a lot of things on her plate. But you need to push her. You need to say, look, you need to do your job. And you need to push her, try to do that.
I'm sorry, 1 second.
Yes, please.
Come here, sweetie. It's okay. It's okay. I'm on the phone. You want to say hi?
Hello there. Now,
Yes.
are your children still with you?
Yes, that was my daughter just now.
Okay, that is good.
I have one daughter, and she is still with me because they don't have any reason to remove her, and this is just all it's not true.
Yeah, I understand that. What you can do is push your attorney by saying that there's got to be something to do. Maybe bye-bye. Maybe your attorney can yes, it's okay. Maybe you can push your attorney by giving her in a polite way that you need to do more because there's nothing on me. We need to make arrangements. And what you can do is also tell your attorney, let's contact the director of CPS in your county there called Washington County. Washington County is your CPS county, and they have a director. And sometimes going up the ladder, they can do there. And you can also call your public defender and really impress upon the fact that you need to move on with your life. Now, if she says you have to wait to the hearing, then you got to wait to the hearing. And there's nothing really you can do because typically a case lasts about a year or more because of the fact is that if they found some things, they're going to drag it on. Now, if they have nothing to drag it on and they're trying to rely on a drug test, that's going to be hard if it certainly come back. It's not there. Did you do a drug test yourself with your own doctor?
I did not, but I actually was thinking about calling them to ask if they could do that, only because
if you have your own, yes. So you need to do a drug test.
At this point, because at this point it's already been almost 3 weeks, and she was saying it would take 2 weeks, which I already think is a lie because why would it have to take that long? It was just a urine test.
Right. I would definitely take your own through your own doctor, your own medical plan, and say I need to do a drug test, and they will do that, and the results only take a couple days. It isn't where it takes a
Yeah.
length of time. So
Now, if I were to do that, how would I then? Would I just send that to my attorney and have her send it in, or
yes,
would I wait
yes.
until the hearing to
No,
print
well,
them?
you would
Okay,
do.
send them to her.
You'd keep a copy. You'd send her a copy and say you need to present this to the plaintiff to tell
Okay.
that your drug test came back negative, and you certainly don't want to drag it on because time is important.
Yes.
So if you're active with your case,
Right.
you should be good about that.
Yeah.
How did the allegation initially start? Did someone complain that you're using drugs?
Yeah, because my daughter's father,
Oh
I
boy.
guess, admitted to it at the doctor's office. But he's not living with us right now.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is family members will get involved. They don't realize they're opening up Pandora's box. It's a can of worms there in CPS. They're very
Right.
corrupt. They're not there for you, which
Yes.
is sad, which is really sad. They're not there.
And the thing is, they never even confirmed whether he was actually on anything or not, but they
Yeah.
just took that and ran with it, and now it's just a nightmare.
Right.
So they never did give the option to do a test until the hearing because
Yes.
they were all going based off what the doctor said.
Right. Well, yeah, well, they're trying to get as much as they can. Now, I want to say hello to my friend Kelly Fisher. I don't know where you're from, but she just came in to the room and said hello. She has Team Fight CPS, which is a good idea there. Daniel Watt is from Georgia. She says, "Morning, Bob. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. You're awesome, my friend." And then Kelly says, "Good morning. This is Kelly from Chicago, Illinois." Yes, I know Kelly. It's so nice to have my regulars repeat in my room. So we have Pennsylvania, and we have Georgia, and we have Illinois in the room. And you all have separate cases. You all have different things. Like the girl from Georgia is trying to get guardianship of her 19-year-old son. She's been fighting for years, probably about 3 years. And they lost him in the system, and they were trying to keep him in the system even though he's 18 years old. So Danielle is trying to get her boy back. He's a special needs boy. That's why she wants to get guardianship. She has her brother that she's special needs. Her brother is, so she's taking care of her brother and her son. And so that's what it is. I forgot what Kelly's situation is. Oh, Danielle says you got him home. That's good news. Danielle just told me the good news. She finally got him home. He was being used by CPS in Texas. So she got him home. I'm so happy to hear that, Danielle. I'm so happy. And so Kelly from Chicago, I forgot your case, but anyway, I'm glad to have the people in the room. I'm glad to have you with your daughter. That's nice that your daughter is there with you because it's so good. A lot of parents don't have the luxury of still having their children. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Thank you.
And it just takes time, and time is the worst enemy. And sometimes talking about stuff, but it's a shame that families get involved. Their intention may mean well, but sometimes they have different turns. They want to do retaliation or they don't like certain things. And they think by getting involved. CPS is a very serious entity. You should not mess around with them because they're very powerful. They're very wealthy, and they have the idea that all parents are bad parents. And the reason why children are in this situation because the parents. But there's a lot of parents out there. They're not bad. It's just that the resources they need help. They need resources. There's so many people in poverty. It's terrible. And with our economy the way it is, most people can't afford paying, $10 for a dozen medium eggs, $7 for a gallon of milk, $1 a pound for bananas. It's gotten to the point where it's too expensive. When your groceries, instead of being $100 a week, are now $200 a week. And so I admire you. I admire you what you're doing. And Dorothy Cook has come in the room. She's from North Carolina, and she just said to Danielle, "That's great." Well, thank you, Dorothy, and thank you to all my listeners out there. I have about 20 or 30 people that are regulars here in this room, and I'm glad that you're here listening, and I'm glad that I can help you. I'm glad I can help you. What other questions would you have, Amanda?
Yeah, so I guess I just am kind of wondering where I should go from here since I'm at a standstill. Do you suggest that I ask my lawyers to contact the supervisor and also go to my own doctor to do my own test?
Those are two strong things that I'd recommend there. In a polite way, you talk to your attorney and say, "Look, this is a standstill. We should know those results. Maybe we need to go to up the ladder to higher ups." And so we'll see what kind of reaction that your lawyer is going to do. Because keep in mind, don't trust your attorney because that attorney works for CPS. Does not work for you.
Right.
Does not work for you. So it's very, very important that you do that.
Okay.
Now, what about the biological father? Where's he in the picture?
So what happened was I did have a consult with a private attorney. I just couldn't afford to retain him, but he told me at the beginning of this case when this all started that it would be best if he moved out because they don't have anything to use against me, and if he moves out, then that might help the case.
What do they have against him? What has he done that is wrong?
He admitted to his doctor that he did a drug one time at the hospital. And since I was with him that day, they reported us. However, they never did do a test. CPS never did test to see if he was even on anything at that time.
Okay.
And I think because he does have a criminal record, so I think because of that, they're using everything they can against us. I don't have anything that they can use against me. So now that he's not living with me, they're saying that if I let my daughter see him, then they're going to take her from me for failure to protect, even though there really isn't any evidence of anything going on. Right,
neglect. How is your relationship with your husband? How's your relationship with your husband?
The problem is they only gave him visitations 2 hours a day, 2 days a week with the caseworker, and neither of us agreed to that. So right now he's not even seeing her at all.
Well, wait a minute. Why is he not seeing her?
Because they only let him see her with a caseworker, and I am really nervous about that happening because my daughter is very attached to me, and I wouldn't be able to be there. So I just didn't feel comfortable with it. But my court-appointed attorney said that we shouldn't fight the court order, just listen to what they say and wait till we get the results. And it's like we can't really do anything.
Right. Well, the head court attorney is definitely working for CPS. That's the wrong advice they give out there. How about you and him, though? What about your relationship with him? Do you see him at all? Understand. It sounds like it's a really peculiar situation you're in because once the court hearing, you guys are going to have to decide what to do. Are you guys legally married?
No,
Okay, okay. And has he talked about the future, what he wants to do with you?
not right now. No.
Okay. You guys need to address your relationship because it's important to the child. You say that the child's close to you. Does the child not like her father?
Yeah.
Does the child not like her
Oh
father?
no, she loves him. She's actually been really upset about it and asked to see him. So
Okay.
that's something that really upsets me that's going on right now, which is why I'm like, I just want some answers on what to do.
Right, right.
I actually have to get going now, but thank you for talking to me, and I am going to contact my doctor today to see if I can set
Do
up
that
my own
test.
test.
It'll make you feel better. It'll make you feel better. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in and sharing me your story. And I'm glad for the update. Please call me again to continue to give me an update. Okay.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you and have a beautiful day. And bye bye, little one. Bye
You
bye.
too.
All right. Bye bye, little one.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay. That was a very sweet woman from Pennsylvania. And she has a little daughter. She sounds so cute. And she's very fortunate of the few people that's still able to keep her children. It sounds like her relationship with her husband's got a lot to work on, and he is staying away, and which must be awful hard on him and the daughter because the daughter still loves her daddy. They're not a married couple, but they have a relationship, and it sounds like they're trying to take care and raise a child. And speaking of that, again, I want to thank Danielle for sharing what she's told me about her son. I'm so glad that Danielle, that he's home with you, and I'd love for you sometime to call in and share me your story of the good news. Dorothy Cook, it's so nice that you're so supportive of other people in the room. Thank you. Dorothy is from North Carolina, and she has been on my show and has called in and so forth there. Kelly Fisher is from Illinois, and she's Chicago, Illinois, and so glad to see her and her case um, there. And so I did talk to Candy Kane, who's Cassandra. Uh, I mean, not Cassandra, but Alexandra. I keep calling her Cassandra. It's Alexandra. And she's from Pennsylvania. That's what it just got through talking. Now, All right. Let's go through these things here. I have an article that I've been addressing lately that I think is important for you all to listen to. It's an article about families, about how important families are and their problem with lack of support, and about poverty. And that seems to be a common thing here. There was two reputable people that expressed opinion from them to the White House. Their names are Dr. Melissa Merrick and Dr. Jody Livingston Johnson. And it was on May 12th at 10 a.m. when I came across this article. It was published on the internet called thehill.com. Thehill.com. And these two people, you see, Dr. Melissa Merrick is the CEO of Prevent Child Abuse America. This is the nation's oldest and largest nonprofit organization dedicated to the primary prevention of child abuse and neglect. The other is by Dr. Jody Livingston Johnson, who's president and CEO of Social Current. She is a licensed clinical social worker with nearly 30 years of experience in the field of human services. These two individuals have now contributed to what they feel is wrong with the child welfare system. They start off recently. A chorus of voices in child welfare have tried to frame the growing national effort to reduce the unnecessary family separation. It seems lately, by talking to you, over 1,700 some people, you're being unnecessarily separated. And they want to do that because they feel it's a threat to child safety. But what they're selling isn't the truth. It's fear. Social workers will put fear into families. And that fear fuels a system that too often harms the very children it claims to protect. When your family is interrupted and they're placed in foster care, they're abused in foster care. I'm not saying all CPS or all foster care is bad, but there's enough of them to cause some concern. At least over 1,700 people have told me that. Now, these two doctors say, here's the real truth. Children do best with their families. Let that sink in for a second. Children do best with their families. I've run across so many studies where the best families are the biological families that raise children. The child welfare system has for far too long confused poverty with neglect. They think because you're low income that you're neglecting your children because you maybe not afforded them a pass to Disney World or Disneyland. It's something outrageous, weird. I'm just trying to be over crazy there. But if you're providing the basic needs, that's not neglect. And also, if you need help and those basic needs are not available, they should be extending those help out to you, not by kidnapping children and doing that. Okay, we got a call come in. Hello, this is Bob Pace, and welcome to my live stream. How can I help you?
Yes, sir. This is Dorothy Cook.
Hi there, Dorothy
To ask you a
Cook.
question.
I'm so glad you called me from North Carolina. Thank you.
Yeah, how many Department of Social Services does it take to investigate one claim?
It doesn't take very many. In fact, I've been telling people lately to go to DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. It's an organization that was started in January by the new President Trump. And what it is, it's supposed to investigate all areas of government. And one of the areas they're investigating recently is social services. And hopefully they can find out the problem with the child protection system because, you know, they're more interested in making the fast dollar and interrupting families than putting the families back together if they take them apart. All it takes is a complaint to someone level up. Now, you can start with the director of the child protection system, or then you could go to the civil rights coordinator in your capital of North Carolina. I think that's Raleigh, right? Raleigh's the capital.
Yes, sir.
Right. You go to Raleigh and contact the civil rights coordinator and tell them how wrongly your case is being handled. You can go to the federal government, and right now there's actually phone numbers to Doge that work. It's the White House is 202, and they give out the phone numbers, which I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised.
Well, I had about it's 3 different counties, and 2 of them found my daughter safe with me, and the other one didn't even investigate. And I'm still trying to figure out how the heck they removed the custody of my child from me.
Well, wait a minute. How do you have 3 different counties? Only the county you live in can investigate the child.
Well, at that particular time, we was going through Hurricane Matthew, and we had lost our things, and we was living with someone else, but we didn't have a home of our own because they had condemned the house we were staying in for not being safe to live in.
Right,
but,
right.
That person, the social worker that came out from the next county where we were at, that person told us that they was doing a courtesy for Wilson County, the county we used to stay in. And then that county investigated or whatever, and that county investigated and said that they, didn't find anything wrong. They found it safe with my daughter.
Right. They're looking
later,
for money.
County,
they're looking.
County came out and did the same investigation, and they said that they found me safe with my daughter. They gave me paperwork saying they found me safe with my child safe with me. So I don't know.
Well, here's the thing is, and the problem you don't have an attorney because you can't afford an attorney. Have you tried to get legal advice, Dorothy Cook?
I did. I filed a complaint with the State Office of the Department of Health and Human Services, and it had happened that the school board, one of the school board members was also the director of social services, the one that actually removed the custody of my child. So she was in conflict of interest because I had got assaulted by EC director from one of the school systems, and the police department, they said they was going to file charges against the EC director, and then they told me they wasn't, and then they didn't, but they gave me a police report saying that they was. They had filed charges against her for assault on myself, and then it was because I was in special education contested court case on that daughter's behalf that they removed custody of, and the EC director assaulted me, and the school board attorney sent me a letter saying that I could no longer communicate with school system employees. I couldn't go on the school property and all of this. If I did, they would arrest me. And she put general statutes up there and everything. And when I contacted the judge that was in charge of the case for the North Carolina Serious Special Education Contested case, he told me the response back was that he could not guarantee me that if I went on school system property that they would lock me up. So my daughter went without education for about 3 years, and I kept asking them if they would let her enroll her in school per that letter, but that letter violated their own school board policy.
Wow.
And so they just never let her attend school. And then after she was like 14, then that's when she had been in the 4th grade, and I had been asking. I've been to the state school board and everybody, and then all of a sudden, after I contacted the Office of Administrative the U.S. Department of Education, Office of Civil Rights, and I wrote a letter in violation or complaint in violation of not only my right to speech, freedom of speech, but also all the school board members. How can you tell them that they can't talk to me? I haven't done anything. I asked her to give me evidence, anything that they had that I had did anything to anybody, and she never did, and they never would, take that letter down. So she just never had the opportunity to go to school, and it affected her negatively. And she had an IEP in place and everything, but I mean, these people do as they choose to do. Because, like I said, I still don't know. But I mean, the director stepped down. The director of social services that was a member of the school board, she stepped down, and her took her place. So they did that part, but they removed custody of my child. And sir, honestly, I honestly do not know how in the world, because they said they had a meeting. It was like 3 days before they removed custody of her, but they didn't invite me to this meeting. I didn't know anything about the hearing until I seen it in some of the court papers. They sent a letter in the mail, and I didn't get it until that day of that hearing, until after the time the hearing was supposed to take place. So I didn't have no idea as to what it was. The only thing I found was police officers came to the house, and the social workers came, and they took my child and didn't tell me why. And I still, to this very day, because when I went to court, the judge and the lawyer, they even had a court-appointed attorney, and I asked, how did I get a court-appointed attorney? I thought they supposed to basically do your income or whatever, to see if you qualify for it. I don't know. But this lady told me that I didn't talk until my daughter's adjudication, and the judge told me to be quiet. So I sat in that courtroom, and because they told me to shut up and I couldn't talk to my daughter's adjudication, they just sit there and did what they did.
Wow.
And I was scared because I was thinking they were going to give her back if I did something that was wrong or whatever. But I mean, the social workers and everybody said that she was safe. She was with me. Everything was fine. So I honestly do not know. That's why I was saying I've never had any type of plan. I did parenting classes myself and on volunteer basis, but they never ever told me what it was. Because when I went to social services, when they would deny my child her education in the beginning, the lady, the social worker, told me, well, ma'am, if there's nothing they could do about it, they couldn't put my child in school because on it and not me. And she was like, because they were not a parent. Parents investigate the school system. They can only investigate parents, guardians, or somebody like that. And they was like, if you was doing it, then we would put you in jail for sure. But because it's the school system doing it, no. I even went to the attorney's office, and they told me they didn't have any grounds on their books, the file charges against the school system. So I still, and it didn't make any sense. I went to the state level school board, and they when she was trying to back, she was like, it's a local government problem, not theirs. But then also U.S. Department of Education, Office of Civil Rights, they had a special class that said that, ma'am, these are people supposed to have resolved this years ago. So we don't understand what's going on and what's taking place. So that's why I was saying a lot of times people, you don't understand what's going on, don't take place. I've never seen a court like family court. I've never seen anybody considering that they even bringing up things like, that's why I was asking about a mental health evaluation. How can somebody define or determine whether or not somebody's mental ill? The people stood in there and said that, and that was one thing that I objected to. And the lady that actually, there was an attorney for me, I filed a motion and got her taken off mine because she wasn't doing anything. There's no way possible that's supposed to be how you're supposed to handle business. Not when it comes to, no, that ain't going to happen. But I mean, all in that same sense, once I did that, they assigned me the DSS attorney as my attorney. And I was like, you gotta be crazy. How you gonna assign somebody that's an attorney for the people that's going against me to defend me? No.
Yeah.
And then the judge tried me as my attorney. And I was like, how can I be my own attorney? But that's what it did. I didn't ask to be. The judge made that decision. I never filed any of my collaterals on my own. The social worker signed all the collaterals up, and the social worker signed themselves up, and the school people as my collateral. And that's why I said sometimes the people don't know what's supposed to take place or how to do it. They just do what they do and think they can get away with it.
Wow.
And that's why I say a whole lot of money is people out here that actually need help that could have been getting help while these people were spending all this money, doing this to me when you got people out here that's hungry, needed housing, shelter, needed things provided. And that's where that money should have been going, to help somebody that actually needed the help, because they didn't give me any. They never offered me any help. And when I asked them for help, they told me no. That's why I was listening to y'all, and I'm like, these people saying these people supposed to offer this kind of help and that kind of help. I'm like, I got it documented. When they told me no, they wasn't going to give me no help. I was like, how can this be?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's why I say a lot of this stuff doesn't make any sense. But I thank you so very much for your time. And yes, it is very refreshing to be able to tell somebody things that's actually truthful, that people are doing to people, and not just to myself, but to other people that I know. Because I would never think a court system would work as crooked and backward as that does.
Well, it's all based on money. I know that the root of all evil is money. And when money becomes important to people, their principles, their scruples, they let go. And as I was talking about this article about these two ladies who are not parents, who are social workers themselves, speak wrongly of the child protection system. They basically have come to the conclusion that people need support, not be taken advantage of and confused of with fear that because they are low income, they can't take care of their children. That is not right. That's not right. And its studies have shown time and time again that children do best with their families. And punishing families who are poor with separation is not the answer. Is not the answer.
You're right, and it's just amazing to me how it is sometimes when they don't get the results they want, when they do these evaluations and stuff like the young lady was saying with her drug testing. When they did the evaluation testing on my daughter, it came back that they harmed her because they removed her from me. They separated her from me.
Yeah.
And the director of social services was her guardian at that time, and she had her placed with another mental health provider that did another evaluation that came back with different results.
Right,
so that's why I was saying that sometimes these people do what they got to do to get the results that they want, and it may not appear to be the way it is to somebody else when it truly is. But I mean, I can truly understand. That's why I say I thank you so much, and thank the attorney and all the rest of the people that's out here that's trying to get this stuff out in the public. That's willing to listen to other people, because even our local news wasn't interested. I guess you have to be certain people or meet certain qualifications for somebody to be interested in people that show in your life.
I agree. That's really wrong.
I thank you for that.
I thank you too. Christina Reynosa has come in the room. She's from California, and she says that you should transcript your testimonies and add some codes that they're mistaken on and send it to Doge. Doge is supposed to help out with a lot of things there. But, instead of, people that have inadequate housing through no fault of their own should be given a house, food. They should be given food. They should not separate a child because they don't have the money for food and so forth. And then, there's lots of other things. But with my time, I just saw my time. And I need to go because my show goes to 9:00 and I need to relinquish my time slot. So, Dorothy Cook, I want to thank you very much for talking to me. Now, have you talked to Vincent Davis yet?
That I have not. I didn't think I could because I had missed the other time when I had called in.
No.
I forgot I didn't call in right away.
No, it's okay. In fact, you qualify again. People sometimes will call me to talk to Vincent Davis 1, 2, or 3 times. All you need to do, Dorothy Cook, is to state your full name, and your email and your phone number. Those 3 things, you just text them to me, to the phone number you called in, to 626-698-0990, okay?
I will.
And I will set you up again with Mr. Davis, all right? And to all of you, I want to thank you, Dorothy, for your support and calling in.
Thank you so much.
And I know that things will
All
get
right.
better for you. They will get better for you. And it's good to see you, Christina Renoza and Daniel Watt. That is so good. And of course,
All right.
Kelly
God bless you
Fetcher.
all.
God bless you. And then Candy Kane, who's from Pennsylvania, that called in before Dorothy Cook. Her name is Alexandra. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you all for listening. I'll be on again tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is Bob Pace telling you, protect your children, fight for your children, and God bless you.